miss all of it.
To become a manager in FIFA 23. Literally just gonna pick that one every single time. It all starts here. First game of the season, Blackpool with Roy Kent. Now we had a bunch of offers come in, and Roy Kent decided to go to one of the teams that were going to be struggling for relegation, and the start of the season does not go well here against QPR. 1-0 down after 18 minutes, and it didn't get any prettier from there as QPR continued to push. Blackpool had majority possession for this game. Roy Kent really putting in the work to make sure that these boys are really fighting for possession, but as you guys see, 43 minutes in, already down 3-0. 4-0, and then in the 82nd minute, finally, Roy Kent's team is finally able to break through, grab a goal, and that was a not so pretty game by any means, but it was a difficult start, an expected one. QPR, not a bad team, around mid-table. After the game, Roy Kent is interviewed. And we're not too sure where we're really going with this career mode. I will say this was the first game that I think I played of FIFA 23 with Blackpool, just in general on FIFA 23, first game that we played. So it was a tough realization. We are on ultimate difficulty, by the way, I will go ahead and say. As we continue going through this, we thought about moving it, switching it up. Did we want to stay on ultimate difficulty the entire time? Was not entirely sure, but decided to come in here, keep it on ultimate difficulty, at least through this first half of the season that you guys are going to be watching here. But results keep not going our way. We're going to concede 5 more goals before we're able to break through and get a goal of our own. 2 to Swansea, 3 to Burton, and then we finally get a goal here in the 34th minute. We were down 3-0 after 30 minutes, and Wright is able to break through, grab himself a goal. That game ends 1-4 though, so I mean, as you guys can see, we are getting absolutely thrashed, and it was going to come down to the time that we were going to have to start looking at some changes. What could we do with this team? How do we get our defense a little bit better? We switch around some tactics, we bring in some different players, give some different players some opportunities. I will say at the beginning, I did not realize I had Reece Williams, I believe it's Reece Williams, from Liverpool at center back, and should have been using him in the beginning. So partnerships are going to start changing, defense is going to get a little bit better. But the interviews aren't getting any easier. They only want to talk to me when we're playing bad. But we go straight into the next game, this one against Sunderland, a team that we did also have an offer for. And I will say that Sunderland, they wanted me to make sure that I think they got like mid-table, and Sunderland is by far a worse team than Blackpool. This team is absolutely atrocious. I mean, their defense is horrible. They got nothing going on offense. I don't know what they plan on doing, but we get an absolute banger of a goal, as you can see me getting hyped there. And this dude, what's his name, Lavery? I hated him in training. Horrible in training. Wasn't doing well when I subbed him on for Yates. But this dude right here, I mean, Yates looks horrible compared to Lavery. As you can see, Roy Kent getting absolutely frustrated, horribly frustrated at this team. But we do manage to go 2-0 up after 34 minutes. Anderson is very good. That guy on the right wing that I can't remember his name to save my life is also really good. Anderson, we end up moving anywhere between CDM, Cam, and left mid. Lavery stays up top. We bring in Cornbow every once in a while as another option for us as well. But an absolutely huge game coming up here. We finally get our opportunity to come up against AFC Richmond, go up against Ted Lasso, and see how we can do. And we held on for quite a while. Now, we'll say defensively we were not able to, or offensively we were not able to break through the Richmond defense. And here the ball ends up finding its way kindly to, of course, Jamie Tart. Who else is going to come in and grab a goal for Richmond? So we end up going down 1-0, losing to Richmond. Very good team. I mean, they're absolutely crushing it at this point in the season. They are in first place. Ted Lasso's got the boys playing incredibly well. Arguably not that bad of a team. Shouldn't be in the championship. Could have honestly put them in the Prem. But wanted to give myself the opportunity to play him a couple times this season, hopefully. So Jamie Tart doing really well. Samuel Bisagna was playing really well in that game. Cumberbatch was playing well. It was all overall a very good team. Glad to see him in FIFA. Obviously, the old teammates there doing really well things. So we end up losing really badly to Hull City, and then I can't do it anymore. So I go out. I'm looking at free agent goalkeepers, and I find the man Ochoa, free agent. Bring him in, sit him down, see if we can get him on a good wage. Ended up having to give him literally our entire budget that was left over after working with some youth players and trying to bring in some youth academy players to the team as well. But we give Ochoa the whole bag. I believe that makes him the highest paid player on the team, $27K a week. So we bring him in. He is our new goalkeeper. Media is like, hey, you guys just had a youth player ask you to play. Now, I will tell you that our goalkeepers are like 64 to 68 rated, just not good enough. We bring in Ochoa, 80 rated goalkeeper, and you guys are going to see as this episode progresses, we start playing defensively so much better. I mean, the organization back there in general starts to get a little bit more comfortable. It's the confidence that I have that our keeper can actually come up with a save every once in a while. Now, keepers in FIFA 23 are not perfect by any means, but ended up working out pretty well. We bring in Ochoa. Definitely shows us where the rest of kind of our flaws are in the team, but at least gives us some structure and gives us some chances to pull away some goals and hopefully save some wins here. Again, we are a relegation side and have not made any signings outside of Ochoa and the team and our youth players who are not ready to play. So this is basically a straight up Blackpool squad plus a new goalkeeper here after like 6 or 7 games. First game for Ochoa does not go well, already 2-0 down, but we do manage to come up, bring another goal back, a little bit of a lucky goal, but again, whenever you're a relegation side, you're going to take them where you can get them. Wright is an absolute baller at Cam. He ends up keeping his place in the team pretty heavily. This Corbino? I keep trying to figure out how to say his name. I still don't know. Corbino, let's go with that. He's actually really good, a right winger, but I put him out left, and he's actually been doing a good job for us. He is a loanee player as well, but here in the 85th minute, we end up conceding to Robinson. He comes in, grabs the goal. The celebrations do look sick at the end of the game, I will say. There's not many opportunities I've gotten to see it where it's my team that does it, but the animation is really cool. Cardiff comes away with the win. As you guys see, after the first session, we were in 23rd place, only above Sunderland. I think the only team that we beat in the first session. But we do come in, looking at the team, looking at the squad, seeing what we can improve, and just trying to get better here starting in the second session against Watford. And what I will say as we go through these highlights, if you guys do want to check out all of these games, we do live stream every single one of these games, plus Ultimate Team, Player, Career Mode, Pro Clubs that you guys will all see videos for here coming soon. But all of these are being streamed, so if you guys ever want to check them out live, or if you want to see the VODs, they are unlisted, but every single one of the VODs are going to be on the channel if you go to the all of the video on demand playlist on the channel. Every single one of those 5, 6, 12-hour sessions are going to be uploaded here, available for you in 1080p 60 frames per second. But you know, again, still not going great here in the championship, but it was always going to be a grind, and we wanted to make it hard on ourselves. Roy Kent wasn't just going to be able to come in and get some cushiony job where he's fighting for promotion straight into the Prem. We wanted to give ourselves a challenge, and I will say around this point there were some grumblings about, can we move away from the championship, because there's so many games, there's not enough players on the team. We're not really getting a good enough chance with these guys. Even when the transfer window opens, I'm going to have to sell 4 or 5 players just to get a couple million to maybe sign some more youth players and some free agents. So it was always going to be difficult here. If an opportunity came, we would definitely be looking at it. As you guys can tell by the title, this is a Journeyman series. Doesn't mean for sure that we're going to stay here, or that we're going to move all the time, but it does mean we're going to move pretty often. But look at this pen! Ekpateta, sorry. How is that a pen? Ref, how is that a pen? All he does is body him off the ball. We give up a pen. We had the lead against Reading, and we come up with a huge save, but still, come on, man. We end up getting the win against Reading, though. 1-0 victory. Again, picking up points here. finding out how to win with Blackpool. Ochoa is absolutely key to that. We do come to realize that we do need another striker. Lavery ends up getting us goals here and there, and he does really well, I will say. This Pavetta guy that I started to play at center attacking mid also did well, as you see another goal for Lavery in the 43rd minute of the game. We go 1-0 up against West Brom, and you know, we're feeling a little bit better. West Brom here in the 70th minute. Again, keepers in this game, they save the weirdest things, then they let the weirdest things go away. But I'm still feeling pretty good on this difficulty. I will say I really did think about just immediately giving up on ultimate difficulty, but I knew, you know, we're a relegation side. I'm supposed to be losing games anyways. Let me try to get better with this. As you guys see, we do move up to 21st place in the league, a little bit behind Reading still, and Coventry and the likes that we should really be ahead of, but just trying to do what we can. Try to get wins where we can, try to get results in general. I mean, draws are good enough in the championship, to be honest with you, just to survive. Again, we would like to be looking for promotion, but a 1-0 loss to the likes of Wigan make that more difficult. This was Ekpateda's first game back. The media did not like that I played him because supposedly he didn't play well enough for them, but I still believe in Ekpateda. Ekpateda and Williams in the back, Reece Williams, incredible partnership. We realize that the team has to get better, and honestly, there's no way I'm going to be able to pull Reece away from Liverpool when he goes back after his loan. So we're going to have to start looking at some other options, but as of now, we gave all of our money to Ochoa, which I still say is the right decision because he has saved us on a ton of goals. We would probably have conceded 40 goals by now if it wasn't for Ochoa, but as you guys saw from the beginning of the season. Now we do go straight from that game into another press conference, Middlesbrough versus Blackpool. Looks like pretty even contest on paper. What I will say is at this point, Middlesbrough was near the top. They were in a playoff position. So this was by far not an easy game by any means. The media keeps saying it's been a bad run of form, but honestly, again, all we're trying to do is survive, and it's not an easy route. But I will say, shout out to FIFA for letting me do a career mode of Roy Kent. If you guys do want to know how I did this, all I did was start a player career mode with Roy Kent, retire him immediately, and then the game auto generates teams that give you offers to go coach for them. They give us a few options in the championship, some in Portugal, things like that, but we wanted to make sure we stayed in England for the beginning, and had a good opportunity to come here to Blackpool. Again, we had Blackpool, Sunderland, Coventry City, some teams like that, I think, and a couple mid-table teams, but I wanted to give myself a challenge here in FIFA 23. This is going to be the main career mode on the channel, and Atlanta United career mode will be starting soon. The streams for that are actually probably going to start the day before this is uploaded. So this will be up on Sunday, October 2nd. The first stream will probably be October 1st. Maybe actually I might push it to Monday and do it on Monday. Start the career mode then, because we're gonna do some pro clubs, I believe, tonight on October 1st. So again, come out, check out the stream. But we are going to be streaming a Atlanta United career mode here soon, and I'm talking full overhaul of Atlanta. But this is gonna be our main Journeyman career mode. This is the one that we're gonna take 10 seasons deep, and really just try to hit and grow and climb the league table, the league world table, and maybe even end up on a big name team here in a couple seasons. But that's not the point here. We're really just trying to scrape away wins. You guys are seeing what's going on. Blackpool, Huddersfield, 0-0 in the 89th minute, just trying to hold on, pushing forward here, really just hoping and praying we can grab a win out of this game. But it's not easy. There's a lot of passing mistakes. There's a lot of defensive mistakes. Midfielders in the wrong position. I've tried 14 different types of tactics, trying to make people run in behind, cut inside, do this, that, and the other. We finally get a last minute winner in the celebration. Lavery, the absolute lad of a man, with the goal. Again, Anderson is an absolute baller. And we're jumping in. Roy Kent is in the team celebration. The stadium is rocking. We're killing the game. And if you guys are listening to any of the audio in the background, in the streams, we're just hanging out with some friends here and there every once in a while. So if you hear anybody else's voice other than mine, that is what it is. But it's always a great time. Always hanging out with the chat. seeing what you guys are thinking, listening to you guys in terms of what kind of signings you think we should make. But we go straight from that win into a match with Millwall. Now this is going to be an intriguing game. Millwall somewhere closer to us in the table. They're bottom half, but still a better team, arguably, and we knew that going in. But at this point in the season, again, we're just trying to start selling people. A couple people have already been transfer listed. Some extra goalkeepers we don't need because now we have Ochoa and some youth players. Millwall goes and scores on us right off a kickoff, and we lose that game 1-0. I mean, I still believe that if we wouldn't have conceded that goal in the beginning, we could have kept it moving. We could have kept it pushing and grabbed another goal there. So a bit unfortunate. Lacked some confidence after we conceded that goal, and we're still just trying to find somebody who's going to get us some goals. We have some youth players that are not ready, but they could be really, really good for Blackpool here in a couple seasons. I mean, it's going to take a while with training and everything like that. And I will say at this point, if you guys haven't done it, what I do with my manager crew modes, I play my first squad the entire time. As you see here, we're selling our first goalkeeper, and the board hates me because they say it was a bad negotiation. I need squad depth for Ochoa, but we have like 5 goalkeepers, so I'm selling them, getting rid of them. But we're just trying to get the boys going as any way we can. So whenever we're working with our squads, our main squad plays all the games, obviously, unless we have clutter, and then we end up playing our second team. But during training, I train with my second team every single time I have an opportunity, because those guys aren't getting play time, just to make sure that they're healthy and they're ready for fitness and can come into a game whenever they're needed. But also those youth players get those opportunities to increase their player ratings as well. So as you guys see here, we end up having the lead against Sheffield United, but Sheffield came back at the end, managed to get the win, and we ended up going down to Luton here. Luton? Is it Luton or Luton? I don't know. But they go 2-0 up against us in the first 17 minutes of the game. I already know what we need. We need another center back. We need a striker. Our goalkeeper's looking good. Our wingbacks honestly aren't bad. Now, there are some players in the team that are starting that are loan players, so we're going to have to bring in players to cover for them. But Lavery's doing well. I just think if Lavery had another striker up there with him, or just somebody to rotate in and out with them, we'd be in a much better place. So, unfortunately, we did come back 2-2 in that game, but it wasn't enough to get the win. So, a bit unfortunate. I think I said we went 2-0 down. I think that was 1-1, and then we went 2-1 up, but then we threw it at the end of the game. Is what just happened. Somebody can correct me in the comment section down below. But yeah, it's a struggle. I won't lie to you. The championship is difficult, man, especially in this FIFA. It's a very defensive FIFA. It's very hard to break down teams unless you're doing the counter attack, which is what a lot of what the championship does. And I'm trying everything in my power not to do drop back tactics. Now, Gary Medine, he's going to get sold. He was one of our backup strikers as well. And these are the goals right here that drive me insane. That goal at Preston North End, right? The goal that they got there, those happen to me all the time, and I never get those. But look at this absolute banger from Kevin Stewart. 24 meters from the goal. Absolute cracker of a shot. We end up drawing that game 1-1, and then we go up against Norwich, and again, just like, what are these goals I concede? But we managed to get another goal back, just as sketchy as Norwich's goal, so a little bit of payback there. Lavery with another goal on the season, 1-1 against Norwich, and that is how that game is going to end as well. I try to throw in these press conferences. I do try to do them quite often, as much as I can. Sometimes I look at what I'm doing, sometimes I don't. Now, if you guys are wondering, when it comes to how I answer these questions, I usually pick things that I think Roy Kent would say. So in a different career mode, I usually try to be positive all the time. Roy Kent's not positive all the time, but he's here to fight for his boys just as much as well. So we just want to make sure we keep team morale up as much as possible, because that really does go a long way in how your players play in career modes. So keep that in mind. Make sure you're doing your press conferences. Make sure you are trying things out. Now again, let me know in the comment section down below, do you guys enjoy these long form videos where it's going to be an entire half of the season, and in the future it may be an entire season of a career mode that I kind of just go over, show you guys highlights. I'm going to be cutting in and out of some videos where if there's like a certain reaction to a goal and things like that. I will say this whole first half of the season, I was so frustrated. I think I only got excited about goals like 2 times out of all of our goals, because I just couldn't believe how much we were struggling. And then like goals like that happen, man. The 95th minute, they're going to get a corner. They're going to get a deflection. Goes straight back to the same guy, and he shoots it past Ochoa while he's still on the ground, and that's how we're gonna lose. Oh man, being in the championship is so frustrating. Not that like the championship is why that goal happens, right? That's just FIFA at its finest, but it's so frustrating. Then coming to the next game, 7 minutes in, we concede, and then it's an absolute grueler against Birmingham City. But we managed to hold the ball off, get a shot. Pavetta with the goal this time. 72nd minute, 1-1 draw against Birmingham City. So if you guys haven't noticed, we are getting a ton of draws, but it does help, and we are progressing. We're moving forward. Now we do get an early goal here against Stoke, 45th minute, right before halftime, and we're feeling good. We're feeling great. Again, focused. As you can see on my face, I'm focused. I'm not making any kind of commentary. I'm not trying to be interesting at all. Here in the 60th minute, another goal, another defensive mishap. I mean, players are out of position all the time. Nobody has any defensive awareness. Marking is horrible. If you guys ever wonder why your players aren't marking, it's because their defensive awareness stat is really low, by the way. I don't know how many people actually know that. A lot of the players on this team do not have good defensive awareness, and unfortunately, we end up conceding to Dwight Gale in another last-minute goal to lose the game. And it's so incredibly frustrating at this point. I won't lie. They're starting to have jobs popping up because we're getting closer to January. And the January transfer window opens. I've already applied to a couple teams, but I'm not going to let Blackpool suffer, because one day I may even come back to this team. I'm going to sign them Denayer as a free agent. I wanted to sign him as a free agent back whenever we got Ochoa, because he's been a free agent this entire time, but we just didn't have the money. Luckily, he stayed. Ochoa here to recognize him, welcome him to the club while he's doing his medical. I do really like these cutscenes, I will say. It's just a little bit of extra flavor. I do think it would be funny if like one of your players just failed a medical for like no good reason. It would be the most frustrating thing ever. But it'd be funny in this cutscene if they're like, oh yeah, sorry, nah, you're gone. So we do bring in Denayer, a new center back partnership with Ekpateta, which does mean Reece Williams will be coming off the bench, but it'll be good for us because we need some rotation and stamina in our back line, because every once in a while I have to play somebody like Husband in the back, and he's just not that great. But we end up bringing in Denayer, another A transfer rating, of course, because it's a free agent. The board's going to be excited about it. 78 rated, an absolute beast of a man. And with that being said, we're going to be kicking another player out of the door. I believe this is Husband that's leaving, if I remember correctly. I don't even know if his name shows up. I think it does after this. We do play out the entire thing, but we do end up saying goodbye, and this is one of the most awkward cutscenes I've ever seen. It can't be an easy conversation. It can't be fun walking somebody out the door either, but it is what it is. Husband's out the door. Nope, this is Jerry Yates. Yeah, Yates didn't do anything for me, and I got 2 mil from him. He's going to go to Granada. So he's out of here. Lavery, starting striker, 70. Now, as you see, these are the jobs that are open. There's some good opportunities coming out of the championship. So I'm scrolling through, I'm seeing, and then all of a sudden I notice there aren't just jobs available for me in the championship. There's potential job openings in another country as well, which I really thought I was going to get to by now, but for some reason I haven't. I saw Richmond is there. I was like, there's no shot I get the Richmond job, but that's hilarious. Almost like it felt like the entirety of La Liga was about to change managers. As you guys see here, I'm gonna change up some tactics. This is where I prefer to play FIFA. It doesn't work perfect in this game, but it is really fun to play this way. Really high depth, a really high line, high pressure, keeps things interesting. 70 depth type of style, and it ends up working out pretty well for us now that we got a new partnership. I tried this at the beginning of the season. It didn't work out for us because our defenders were a little too slow, but now that we have Ekpateta and then we have Denayer in here, I wanted to give it a shot. But again, these types of goals are why we're drawing games in the championship. And unfortunately, in this case, we lose, I believe, because in the 60th minute, they grab a goal. Wait, did we score here? I think we did. What a goal. Absolutely love to see it. Lavery with the cut-in. And we managed to bring it back 2-2. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, the goals that we concede for draws are insane. And here we go. This is where we're going to end the episode. Roy Kent signs a new manager deal. We're going to Spain next episode. Come hang out in the streams. Come watch the videos. Let me know in the comment section down below how you guys felt about this series and this season's episode. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Peace.